If you want something in your world to change, if you're feeling any kind of like discontent or disconnectedness, just that things are unfulfilling, that you feel like you should be further along than this, self-awareness is going to be critical in that change process.
Get your daily dose of motivation on the Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast. In Motivation with Michelle podcast, you'll get encouraging, uplifting, and life-changing wisdom that will transform your world at your fingertips, 24 hours a day. Get a fuller, deeper revelation of the tools you can implement to see incredible transformation in your life from Michelle Newstetter's powerful teachings. Tune in whenever you need to be edified, uplifted, or a dose of motivation, no matter where you are. Subscribe to Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast with Michelle Newstetter today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud.
Hey there and welcome. I'm wondering today what it is that you do to help increase your self-awareness. Like, what kind of reflective practice do you engage in that helps you to grow, to shift, to change, to become, better than you are today? Self-awareness and self-reflection kind of are two sides of the same coin, if you really think about it. You can't really have one without the other. There's like the idea that we need to have some self-compassion in our self-reflection. And even in that sort of self-awareness that comes out, because sometimes we can be fairly mean to ourselves as we're reflecting on or analyzing the situations that we've walked through. But really, when we think about self-awareness and self-reflection, we're looking at kind of who I am, who I want to be, how am I showing up, how am I reacting to situations around me, and what things do I want to start doing, what things do I want to stop doing, what things do I need to shift or change, what little awarenesses do I come up with that maybe stem out of where I've been that are impacting where I'm going today, right? We need to be able to ask ourselves a lot of those questions. Like a looking inward, right? A looking inward so that we can start to develop greater levels of awareness through our ability to spend some time in reflection. By improving our reflections and our awareness, we can then start to navigate our world a little bit differently. But it does, if we're going to create a reflective practice, it does require that we put in effort, because we have to do it on purpose. If we're not intentional about it, we're not going to make the time to do it. We're not going to prioritize it. And it requires us to be consistent in what we do. And that's where that awareness really does come from, because then we've sat with something for a little while, and it helps us to really identify what that really needs to look like. And then it helps us to reconnect with our world, or even just to connect with our world, because sometimes we've been doing the same old things for so long that we might have lost a little bit of that connection. If you want something in your world to change, if you're feeling any kind of discontent or disconnectedness, just that things are unfulfilling, that you feel like you should be further along than this, self-awareness is going to be critical in that change process. And the ability for you to create that self-awareness is going to be through that continuous reflective process. So, how reflective really are you? How much time do you spend thinking about your thoughts, thinking about your feelings, thinking about your reactions, thinking about how you show up, thinking about how you want things to be? How much time do you spend, contemplating the past and where you've come from and all the experiences that you've already had to walk through? identifying things like your strengths and your resiliency, and even the areas where you've maybe put up walls and barriers and blocks and you're not letting people in. All of these things are shaping how I am today and whether or not that really feels fulfilling and satisfying. There's so much that self-reflection will help you with. Achieving your goals, building, stronger, healthier relationships, improving your performance at work, shifting how you connect with the world around you. Self-reflection is so critical because self-awareness is one of the just first and foremost fundamental ingredients in any kind of shift or change that we want to make in our lives. So if you want to keep growing, if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to shift or change anything in your world, you are going to need to start to engage a process of self-reflection, becoming more aware of who you are and how you're showing up, and also creating some reflexivity in your world where you're also analyzing more of things like my beliefs, my values, my assumptions, and how that's impacting how I am in my world. So find yourself a nice, comfortable, quiet spot. Grab a journal, grab a pen, sit down and start to think about what you're thinking about. Let's see what you can discover about yourself. Bye for now.